What's up, sassy gamers? That's right. Today is February 24th, 2022. And welcome to Got Your Attention, Season 2, Episode 37. Today, Zeissy is on assignment, and I have with me Daydrinker.
What's up?
And, of course, Dymyrn.
What up?
So I had lots of stuff going on, and we're going to touch on a bunch of things in the world and in the gaming world as well. But with that said, let's just jump right into it, and let's jump over to Kelly's Corner.
Jump on in, guys. Feet first. Or head first.
Feet first? I mean, like, I'm going to cannonball. I'm going to go ass first in this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's see what I got. So as usual, 2 articles or 2 segments. Every once in a while, I take a look and browse the internet to see if there's a Doug the Spud update. And if you've listened to any of our podcasts, Doug the Spud is a potato that is pending a Guinness Book of World Record win, right? Hoping to be the biggest potato in the Guinness Book of World Records. And it is a massive spud. So I kind of browsed to see if
she said.
Yeah. I browse the internet, do a little search to see if there's any update on that. Last we heard they were doing DNA testing, and Guinness Book was asking them for other stuff. So they were keeping Doug in the freezer, and Doug had already lost some weight and whatnot. But I did run across an article or from several outlets that about a gigantic strawberry that was just announced as the Guinness Book of World Record holder. And it weighs 289 grams, which is about 10.2 ounces rounded off, over half a pound. And it was grown on a family farm near central Israel, or in central Israel, back in, wait for it, February of 2021. So
Jeez.
this strawberry has been stuck in the freezer for quite some time and doesn't exactly look real pretty. I'll tweet out an article about it. So it doesn't look as nice as it used to, but it is pretty massive. It is a man's palm is dwarfed by this enormous strawberry. That's what she said. The previous record holder, though, was grown in Japan in 2015, and it was 8.8 ounces. So this one's much, over 2 ounces, or about a little less than 2 ounces bigger. But for a strawberry, I mean, that's pretty huge. It's pretty gigantic. So,
well, I mean, you just got to have a little bit of champagne with that too. Then, one of the big bottles of champagne to go with your big strawberry.
That's what I'm saying.
Aren't there are the previous record holders the ones like I had just read about this? Paul Hollywood ate one of the most expensive strawberries in the world, and they're huge strawberries, but they're like 500 euros per each. I wonder if those were the second largest. They're apparently amazing. It's like this dude who does it all himself, and apparently they're just like the most delicious, flavorful strawberries you could possibly eat on the entire planet.
I am all about trying an amazing strawberry,
but they're like 500 euros each. They're 500 USD, 380 something.
Too amazing for me.
It's just too amazing. I can't. It's too amazing.
You gotta wonder.
That's way too amazing for me.
Like you got to wonder how good that strawberry has to be for them to cost that much for that guy to still be in business. And I mean, like Paul Hollywood even eats it, and he's like, "Wow, this is like actually amazing." But also, like Paul Hollywood's rich, so he could eat a $500 strawberry and like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's delicious. I would totally buy this again. But a normal person would be like, it was really good, but
because
why
broke. Not?
Like, I'd rather buy a PS5.
Yeah.
I'd rather buy a PS5. There we go.
All right. The other story I have is one that I'd heard about a while ago and just finally had some time to do a little more research about it. Back in 1970, there was a school called, or this still exists, St. Helens. It's a Catholic school in Newberry, Ohio. And there was the parish priest was named Father James Moran, and he implemented a rule where every single kid in the school had to learn how to ride a unicycle, to the point where he would encourage kids to ride from class to class on their unicycles. And he said, kids are going to have to learn at a very early age that you're going to get hurt and you're going to get knocked down and you just have to get back up. He was kind of knocked down again.
You get back up again. Ain't no one ever going to keep you down.
I think we have to drink to that one.
There's no way that's considered either singing nor rapping.
Oh, I mean, it's somewhere.
So I guess that's only half a drink. I don't know. That was terrible.
Well, so he was kind of a hard ass, right? And to the point where
clearly
parents were like, there's no reason for my kid to be riding on a unicycle. They're going to get hurt. I don't want my kid to ride on a unicycle. That's the
whole point.
And he goes, then take them out and enroll them in another school. And they said, okay, never mind. So for years and years and years and years and years, kids were riding unicycles. They also, Father Moran actually created a unicycle drill team too. And that drill team was in effect and performing at parades. I think they performed at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade at one year. Up until about 1993, when apparently unicycles fell out of fashion for the parishioners at St. Helens. And just recently, I believe it was 2013, 2016, I could have that wrong. I'm sorry, it's 2014. They decided, hey, let's start the unicycle drill team again. And the ages range from like adult to children now. So they've been invited to lots of other local parades and stuff. And it's pretty amazing. You'll have to check out some of the footage on YouTube. There are a couple of like mini documentaries about them. It's fantastic seeing these kids from 1970 all wearing their uniforms, and they're literally riding up and down stairs on their unicycles. And some of their unicycles are like those really, really tall unicycles. Some guys have to get on ladders to get on them. It's pretty amazing. They show how they used to teach kids, or how they teach kids to learn how to ride the unicycle for the first time. And so it's pretty fun. It's because every kid in the entire school has to ride on these unicycles, has to learn how to ride on a unicycle. It kind of puts everybody on the same level, and they all feel this amazing accomplishment when they learn how to ride the unicycle. So from what I can tell, it is just a drill team now. I don't think they force every kid to learn how to ride a unicycle anymore, but I could be wrong. My research, I could not find in the articles that I did read, I could not find anything saying that they still, make every kid learn how to ride a unicycle. So, but I thought it was a really cute article, kind of funny. My dad used to ride a unicycle, and so we got a little place near and dear to my heart. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll talk about this one on the podcast. So those are your Kelly's Korner.
Well, before we depart, I do want to say that I did find a picture of that strawberry, which is insane.
I told you it's massive, right? And it's lost weight since then. That's it from the freezer.
That's it from the freezer.
So all I need to do is hang out in the freezer for a while.
Oh, good gravy. That doesn't work that way.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look as delicious as I'm sure it used to.
Yes. Well, thank you, Kelly, for that. And now we will move on to the news.
Oh, there we go. That's more better.
So close.
Right?
We got the majority of it sounding really good, so we're good. But yeah, let's get into our news for this week. Starting out on a not so happy note. Obviously, there's a lot going on in the world today, and I think I can speak pretty confidently for everybody here that we're, of course, focused on gaming, but every once in a while, world events by force or by need bleed into the conversation. And in this case, it is still game related, but also does revolve around the ongoings in between Russia and Ukraine. The gaming community obviously has a lot of members in the Ukraine, including developers who have started to speak out against what's going on over there. So obviously with the invasion happening from Russia, the developers of Stalker have been pleading
Stalker 2, in fact.
Stalker 2 specifically, have been essentially pleading to the gaming community to support Ukrainians during this time of need and this time of war, essentially. And following in suit with their message, many other Ukrainian developers, such as Crytek, have also put out their social media asks for fans around the world, or just in general people in the gaming community, to provide their support, whether it be moral support or financial, in any shape or form possible. So they have obviously all awoken this previous morning to the sound of explosions in their cities across all of Ukraine. These developers, there's a lot of developers there, from Ubisoft Studios to obviously Crytek, creators of CryEngine Crysis, making Crysis 4, I think now. The studio that creates Stalker, which is GSC. I always forget what they're called. GSC Game World, the makers of Stalker 2. So they're out there. They're asking for fan support, gaming industry support in general, and they want the communities to know that they're there. They're trying to stay safe, and obviously they're trying to keep morale up in a time where that's maybe not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, I think another good thing to say about it is that 11-bit studios, which I showed there for a moment on the screen, also they're the makers of Frostpunk, which is wonderful, wonderful video game. And also This War of Mine, which is very poignant right now. That is a dark game in many ways, and gritty, a very gritty game. I think this is a better way to say it. But they announced today that they will donate all proceeds from the sales of those games to the Ukrainian Red Cross for the next week as well. Wow. So it's something that, if you don't have one of those games, you can pick it up and you will be helping that cause if that's something that you're interested in doing.
That's awesome. Well, after 6 long years, Capcom has finally announced that they are, in fact, confirming the rumors that Street Fighter 6 is being created. didn't really give us a date on when it will be released, but at least it has been confirmed. A nice trailer for the new game, revealing Ryu and Luke. Looks pretty cool, so check that one out. It's pretty short, but a neat little update there. They also announced that they're going to release the Capcom Fighting Collection. That's going to be released on June 24th, 2022 for most of the gaming solutions. So
yeah, it's actually kind of funny too, because Luke was, I think, the last fighter that they introduced to Street Fighter V, and they introduced him as he's going to be the future. He's going to be, kind of what you see in Street Fighter VI. And they did this 6-day teaser to tell us, A, Street Fighter VI is being developed. Duh. That Luke's in it. Duh. And that Ryu is in it. Well, of course he is.
Yeah.
So, it was the most non-announcement I've seen for a while. Almost like, hey, don't forget about us. And hey, by the way, if anybody wants to buy us, I don't know. Actually, that's what Ubisoft's been saying. Literally, Ubisoft has said, we are interested if somebody wants to buy us, but there have been no offers. I do not know why.
I wonder why. Well, I mean, I'm still kind of shocked at the Blizzard Activision thing, but whatever. So with that announcement, though, they did reveal the new design for Street Fighter VI, which was kind of a departure from the flashier, colorful logos. This one's really monochromatic, but it looks very super similar to an Adobe stock image. And if you use Adobe stock images, this one goes for apparently like $80. You do have the ability to modify the images. So it's not that it's against the rules or against the licensing. So it is highly possible. I won't say likely. I don't want to put words in their mouth, but it is possible that they saw this image and, changed up the colors, added a little splashy, it almost looks like chalk, or it probably looks more like chalk than like spray paint. But so they definitely, it looks like they may have changed it, and
I'm thinking blood splatter.
Blood splatter, yeah, I guess, yeah.
I'm thinking blood splatter.
Okay, well, I'll go with blood splatter, sure. So the
That's got nice droplets.
Yeah. It's
sorry. Anyway, you were saying the creator.
Blood splatter. So the creator is, I think it's X Cooley. Looking through my notes here. That's the person who created it, is saying, hey, I will sell the exclusive rights to this image to Capcom. But
you're talking about the creator of the Adobe stock image.
Yes, the creator of the Adobe stock image, yes. Is like, hey, I will totally, you want to buy this off me, I will take it off the Adobe stock store, and we don't have to worry about anybody using this ever again. Come talk to me. It's funny too, because it might just be parallel evolution, because the other picture I have up is a Taiwanese company called Sunfar that used this image in the past, not recently, but in the past they had a very similar logo as well. So who knows who got that one first? Yep. Oh, that's funny.
Well, Street Fighter VI got announced, like you said, but what got unannounced is actually Call of Duty. This is the first time that Call of Duty has not had an annual release since its initial release. And Call of Duty initially released 20 years ago. So, I think it was 20 years ago, might be 10. So it's interesting on their essentially anniversary that they're not going to release one.
Yeah.
They're actually finally taking a break, as it were.
20 years.
Yeah.
Well, do we think that this has anything to do with
2001?
Yeah. Do we think this has anything to do with the purchase of the studio, though?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Because, I mean, like this stuff, they're planning this stuff way in advance. They release Call of Duties. When do they normally release them? Isn't it in the early fall?
It's in the early fall for Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with the buyout. I think it has more to do with COVID and them trying to catch up on stuff than anything else. But it could be related. I mean, who knows? Yeah. So, 2003 was the first one. So this would be the 20th year this year. Their 20th anniversary. Would have been.
Yes, would have been.
So they're gonna actually take a year off, because I mean it's not too unprecedented. We had what the Forzas were doing yearly releases, but it was
that's true.
Forza for 1 year, Forza Horizon for the next year, and it was back and forth, and just
flip-flop.
I think it was last year or the year before, they did not release a new Forza. So they went from a Forza Horizon 3 to Forza Horizon 4 without a Forza in between, which then led to the old Forza actually being taken off of the stores because music licensing and car licensing and stuff like that were running out, so they couldn't sell it anymore. So that was another yearly franchise that got interrupted. But the cool thing is also in the Call of Duty news is that Call of Duty has its own anti-cheat system. And it's similar in some ways to Apex, that it's a kernel level anti-cheat system. Now, there's a couple of things that people have problems with that, with a kernel level program running. And I won't get into that. Some people are not going to care. Some people definitely care because there's some concerns about it since it's so low level. Now, some of the companies are saying that they create them as kernel level anti-cheat because the cheating systems get installed typically at the kernel level. And that's the only way they can combat it.
And I think we discuss this on a previous episode.
I think we discussed the Apex one.
Okay.
Now, Call of Duty has their own called, I believe, Ricochet, which I think is an appropriate name for it.
Yes. I love
because one of the features of Ricochet is that if you are cheating and the anti-cheat detects it, what it then does is it makes it so you as the cheater firing your bullets, they bounce off all the non-cheaters and don't do any damage.
Oh, wow.
So
that's
then
genius.
What happens is that the person who is not cheating can run right up to you and not get hurt. And they can just take you out. They just knife you if they wanted to. So I thought that was a pretty cool addition into the anti-cheat that they're doing. It doesn't seem to, I didn't see if that was fully released yet, that new feature of it, but that is something you can definitely look forward to if you play Call of Duty. Just not Call of Duty for 2022.
I love that. I wish you would do that in more games. I mean, still ban them, but also mess with them first. Because
totally troll them.
Valorant has the same kernel-based banning system. It just doesn't have as much entertainment to it. There's actually what's great is I almost wonder if they got this idea from a YouTuber, because there's a YouTuber out there who purposely makes Counter-Strike cheats, but he releases Counter-Strike cheats that half do what they're supposed to, just enough to convince people to use them. And then he has the ability to control what they do, and it will record their gameplay and send it back to him so he can use it for YouTube videos.
Oh, that is amazing.
So they'll actually pay money to get access to these hacks, and then they'll work for a certain amount of time, and after a certain amount of hours, they'll start messing with them and then sending the footage back. So like, then he makes these great YouTube videos where like someone will go to shoot somebody, and when they turn on aim hack and it snaps to their head, their character will immediately not be able to shoot anymore, and it'll just walk them off the map. If there's there's a map that's, I can't remember what it's called. I think it might actually be called Skyscraper or something. But he actually has it set up so if you're playing on that map and you activate those cheats, the second you go to pull your trigger, instead of shooting, your character will immediately just macro run all the way through the map and jump off the map and kill itself.
Gravy.
Oh, that's awesome.
More games need to do that. Take a note from Call of Duty's books, which is a weird thing that I never thought I'd say.
Right?
Seriously.
Take a note from Call of Duty's books. Re-release the same game every year for 20 some odd years, and then also
19.
mess with your cheaters.
Oh, love it. Oh. Speaking of messing with cheaters, like, this is totally off topic, but kind of on topic. I got a WhatsApp message from somebody that I have not talked to for years at this point, like for no reason other than just, our paths haven't really crossed, and but would absolutely talk to this person, but got a message from this person on WhatsApp on a phone number that person didn't have. So I said, hey, sorry, we haven't talked in a while. How are you? And I immediately thought, this is not, I'll call her Kaylee. This is not Kaylee, because Kaylee would have said, hey, Kelly, how are you? How's the family? And I thought, okay, so this is definitely a scam. And I walked out and I said, hey, I got this WhatsApp message, or husband, what do you think I should do? Should I with them or just ignore it? And he goes, you should definitely just ignore it. And then he went back to his phone, and I said to him, well, fine. I'm just going to tell Bruno this story, and he'll tell me to with them. Bye.
Wow.
Bruno wouldn't shoot me down straight away. Bruno would be like,
ask mom when dad says no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me your phone. I'll take care of this.
I'll do it for you.
Yeah. So speaking of cheaters, that's where I was going with that one.
Oh man, that's good.
Yeah.
Our next story is also something positive. Steam
Yay.
Next is underway. Steam Next Fest, I guess. So they said that you can look forward to the big thing out of this. Really, the only thing that I really feel is worth mentioning, and one of the few things I am excited about on Steam, is that there'll be like 90 demos a day. Essentially, they're like, just round up. It'll be like 90 demos a day for Steam Next Fest for you to try. So if you weren't already having a hard time figuring out what games to pick and choose through Lost Ark, Elden Ring, Horizon, what's that other game that just came out? Starts with an S, I think. I forget it.
Elden Ring just came out as well.
Elden Ring,
yep.
Well, comes out in 2 hours and 17 minutes for PC.
Close enough.
Not that anybody's counting. Not that anybody's counting.
It's already out on Steam. So, but awesome. Yeah, Steam Next Fest is coming at us with 600 demos, along with things like developer live streams, which are pretty cool. But I think the main thing that everybody's going to be excited about is to try all these different demos for these different games. So it's kind of exciting. It's always good to be able to kind of see what a lot of indie developers really, and even some larger studios are cooking up. And this is a really great time for you to find games that are potentially in the genre that you enjoy. and give it a go. See what's going to be here maybe later this year or next year even.
Nice.
And then on to what is somewhat negative news, but I'm kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's like Stockholm Syndrome at this point. Lost Ark has been making a lot of news lately for both good and bad things. Obviously, the bad makes news more than the good. And one of the things is there's a Lost Ark's a free game, but it's got a freemium structure to it. So what freemium structure essentially is there's a premium subscription in it that costs like $10 a month or whatever, called Crystalline Aura. Crystalline Aura gives you benefits such as additional combat XP per minute logged in once you're level 50, which assists you in getting to level 60, which is like an end game thing, along with a bunch of other benefits. The biggest ones being things like access to the auction house, marketplace, your warehouse from anywhere. Your pets have like way more abilities, additional teleport locations, and free teleporting throughout the entire world. Unfortunately, Lost Ark is kind of a victim of its success, in that the servers in especially the EU are not able to handle the load that they are under. And one of the weird issues that's causing is the cash shop server, because they're like all instanced. The cash shop server seems to not be communicating appropriately with the other servers, meaning that when it goes to verify if somebody has an active Crystalline Aura subscription, it doesn't. And then people don't get to utilize their Crystalline Aura that they rightfully paid for. Now, a big thing here is the main servers impacted do happen to be EU Central servers. And a lot of the Crystalline Aura, to my knowledge, that has been given out in that area. So they paid for it, and now Lost Ark or Amazon Game Studios and Smilegate were like, yeah, that's kind of bad. You guys have like 20,000 person queues. Your servers are insanely unstable. You can barely do instances, and your Crystalline Aura keeps failing. So we're just going to give you like 90 days of free Aura and hope that we can resolve these issues before
win that 90-day period.
Yeah. So yeah, just
or some other bad thing pops up.
Yeah, a lot of issues, and then like the big thing is obviously like to Lost Ark players, they're quite literally paying for something they're not getting. So just another rocky launch for another MMORPG to add to the giant pile of rocky launches. I mean, the last launch was obviously Final Fantasy XIV's 1 month of queues. So this is just a continuation of the trend, I guess.
It happens.
Yeah, I saw some people that said they had just activated their Crystal Aura, had it like 2 days, and then it disappeared. And of the 30 days they were supposed to have it with like increased, benefits and decreased cost for using things. And then they activated another one, had that one for 2 or 3 days, disappeared. So yeah, I could understand why a couple of people are getting upset. But hopefully
the auras are generally supposed to be like 30-day auras. They did give away some small 3-day ones initially with the platinum pack and stuff like that, or one of the Twitch stream packs. Sorry, but yeah, like it's definitely a bit of a mess, especially depending what data center you're essentially connected to. Hopefully they're able to resolve it. They, did a maintenance last night that seems to have corrected for a lot of the networking issues, at least in North America. They've already pretty much said there's nothing we can do about queues in EU Central. Like, I guess the way that the server infrastructure is designed, there's limitations that can't even be accounted for using Amazon Warehouse's cloud. They're just like, we can't do anything else. It's like at capacity. We can't go beyond 90,000 people per server. It just doesn't work. So they're kind of like, sorry, we'll keep compensating you guys until you guys feel like you're
because we're making so much money.
They are making a lot of money. Their support is also abysmal. I know this was supposed to be just, we're not getting Crystalline Aura. I've actually dealt with their support. It's pretty rough.
Wow.
It's pretty rough. I open an issue. I kind of held the guy to it, even though he was trying to like weasel his way out of things. I had like there's so many issues with server sided things. It's pretty crazy. So my issue specifically was a welcome challenge, which is a account wide challenge. I finished the objective and it didn't give me the rewards.
Awesome.
And this is like a widespread issue that people were complaining about on the forums and was getting no community manager response. And people were like, oh, support won't listen to me. So I opened up a support ticket with them. Support person was absolutely terrible at understanding the situation. He was like asking me like, where in the game did this happen? And I was like, it was in the UI. And he was like, what map? I was like, I don't understand how a map matters. If it's a UI, it's just like a little UI that you connect to. And he's like, yeah, but like what map did the issue occur in? And I was like, that doesn't make any sense, my guy. Like you're asking me weird questions. I'm telling you that your server does not have it registered as me completing this challenge. Something that I can do for it. And he was like, yeah, what you have to do in order to fix it is you have to verify the integrity of your game files. And I was like, okay, are you telling me that the fix for objectives from challenges not being done is to verify my game file integrity? Because if you're saying that, are you saying that game file integrity is, or like that quest completion is handled via client side? And he was like, well, and I was just like, okay, well, if you're saying that, that's great news. I'm glad to hear that quest completion and stuff is handled client side. I'm going to screenshot this conversation and publish it to the forum so everybody knows that they can modify their quest completion via the client side per support. And he was like, actually, don't do that.
Yeah, right.
Whoa, wait. Oh, ah.
And today, 3 days later, that issue has been fixed for everybody. So,
oh, excellent. You're really here to defend the little guy and, make change. I would actually call you a borderline activist.
Video game activist extraordinaire, yeah. Fixing unjust things across the gaming community.
Unjust in the gaming world.
How dare you not give these people their quest completion? I'll fight tooth and nail to get them the materials they rightly deserve.
Bruno's a border activist.
Yeah.
No child
go
should
venture
Texas
in
and protest
to these lands without their crystals to upgrade their gear.
Not in my Lost Ark.
Good gravy.
No, this shall be the last item lost in Lost Ark. Yeah. But yeah, so the game's support it's trash. Amazon support's always been trash. Let me be very clear about that. And Amazon Game Studio support is exceptionally more trash. So I feel like you'll probably, if you listen to the podcast every week, you're probably going to hear me both say good things and bad things. Good things about the game, terrible things about the way the game's being handled, because Amazon Game Studios is pretty miserable at handling all things external from actual development. And then a lot of things development-wise too. But that's not them in this case. Thank goodness it's Smilegate.
Well, speaking of things that cost money, that's the worst interlude. Halo Infinite has a new weapon you can purchase for 6,000 credits. Weapon attachment. It's called the Crimson Serpent Weapon Set. And it's supposed to look like a dragon spitting fire like every time you shoot.
Yeah.
Except
it attaches the end of your barrel. It's got it's like an orange dragon.
Yeah.
It's got and then fire comes out of it when you're shooting.
But that doesn't look like a dragon to me. That doesn't look like fire to me.
Well, I mean, from the side it looks fine.
A lot of people are saying it looks like a Cheeto.
It does. That's exactly what I was going to say. It looks like a giant Cheeto.
Well,
like a flaming hot Cheeto.
Yeah,
actually,
flaming hot Cheeto. I honestly, if you hadn't told me what it was supposed to be, I would have assumed it was a plug.
Yeah.
For first-person perspective, this thing sitting at the end of it, it almost looks like a turd. Yeah. In fact, like let me zoom in on this thing here. Come on, there we go. Look at this thing. Oh, come
person,
on.
like-
You could zoom more than that.
It does. It really does look like a turd.
Yeah, it really, really
Twitter
does.
messing with me.
Big red turd.
Yeah. So it
I'll zoom
does.
the other way.
Twitter has been blowing up, like laughing about it. Best part too is another another tweet from Boa XBL.
There you go.
He's using a green skin, and theirs looks like he said it looked like a stick of gum stuck at the end of my barrel, like chewed up piece of gum.
Chewed up
stuck
piece of gum. Yeah,
yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, green minty gum. It was,
Yum.
I've barely followed this game. I know that there's been a lot of anger around a lot of the aspects of it. And I think a lot of the anger, wasn't it that like the item mall is like super skin based or something? And like,
yes,
you can't actually unlock anything good via like most things that you unlock aren't that great from like actually ranking up. So like, do people pay for this?
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's basically $6 for that. And
It's
you
$6?
Yeah.
But you get like a dozen.
A dozen
Wait, I'll go back
turds?
to the original picture.
I'm sorry, a half a dozen weapon skins for it. So, yeah.
So
You
six
can have
turds.
a brown
6 turds.
turd, a red
Yeah.
turd, a green turd if you've been eating a lot of spinach.
If you actually see the gun or the weapon attachment from the side, and Brian, I'm not sure if you have that.
Yep, that's what I have up.
That's not it. What I'm seeing you have up is not it. That's a funny image of it. From the side, it actually looks good. It actually looks kind of cool. It's not something I'd pay $6 for, but I don't play Halo, so.
Yep.
I'm so curious now. I need to see this.
Hold on. Let me.
Okay.
There you go. Scroll down. There you go. Up. Sorry, I can't see your screen, so this is delayed. It's the middle image there.
you have severe lag going on right now.
One
so
more image
you
down.
can't see what we're seeing.
Yeah, you need to scroll down one more.
Oh, that's got the dragon
Right.
head on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. So from this third person perspective, it looks really cool, right?
Wait, is that it from a third? That's
Yeah.
it. That's what it's.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. That's what
That's
we're
what it's
looking
supposed to
at.
look like. Yes.
Yes.
So from the
Oh,
first
man,
person
yeah,
perspective,
just awful
is how-
design.
yeah. So
Just miserable.
yeah.
I mean,
That's
it
just
looks.
crazy.
It does look kind of cool from the side to some degree, but yeah, like I don't know why they did all that weird stuff with the back of its.
Yeah. Well, even on this one, it looks a little bit like flames shooting out of it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no,
Sort
that's
of.
no, never mind. That's somebody
No, that's-
photoshopped a
that-
Cheeto on there. That's
Yes,
literally
yes,
a
yes.
Cheeto. That's literally
Yeah.
a flaming hot Cheeto that somebody photoshopped on there. Never mind. We'll just look at this one.
The Kotaku article has a lot of has several different images in it too. There's a couple of other articles also, but I'll send them out. We'll post something so you can see what it's supposed to look like. And what,
Oh, here's your green turd.
Savage. $6, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good gravy. Okay. Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and take a short break, and we'll be back in a moment. Listen to a word from our sponsor.
What?
And we're back. With the fingers, too.
With all the fingers.
All the fingers.
I would make a joke, but I'm afraid.
Can you cross your fingers
that-
without touching them? Do you have to cross your fingers, or can you just cross your fingers?
like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the
I
pinky
can do
fingers,
that.
like the other two.
Oh no. Well,
What? Yeah, you did it.
Oh, okay. I get what you're asking. Okay.
Well, I mean, I've seen some people when they cross their fingers, they like physically with their other hand
Have
cross
to-
their fingers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, odd.
And the other two are a little
weird.
bit more difficult to do. So the pinky
Yeah.
and the
Obviously,
ring finger.
they're just not as great as us.
right.
We've transcended, all right? Nay, evolved to be superior through the ability to cross our fingers without the hindrance of having to use our other hand. Truly an amazing feat for humanity. We have obtained the ultimate greatness.
Yeah.
And as such, here we are. Only us.
Brian's here doing party tricks. Who else is getting hypnotized?
So
'Cause I am.
now that Bruno's done with that lengthy diatribe,
Oh, you thought that was lengthy?
this
Hold on
week-
a second. Yeah.
this was our every other week. So instead of Game of the Moment, this last week we played Tuesday Trivia with our trivia master, Zycia. And I unfortunately was not able to be there. I was on
I
assignment
kept
that
saying,
day.
I think he's playing. I think he is. I think he's this person. I think he's that person. No, you weren't. You
No, I was
totally weren't.
asleep.
No.
I had to wake up at 3 a.m. I was asleep. I was on assignment, as we say.
Yes.
And for those that did show up, we had a random drawing because you can only do this as a random drawing, apparently. Thank you for our resident not lawyer day drinker. Does not
I learned
practice
that
law
from-
anywhere, does not have any bar exam. Please do not
Does
take
not,
legal advice
no.
from us because we're not doctors, we're not lawyers. We're only people that talk about games and news and other associated things. But so we did have a random winner. So I guess congratulations to James DeSucks.
Well,
How
To be fair,
I'm gone one night and you do that?
I technically won. So
it's true.
Okay,
know.
that I didn't know.
yeah, I was the only other person that entered the drawing. Because why wouldn't I? And naturally, both me and James had the same amount of tickets, and of course, I was the winner of the random drawing. So
Oh, good.
once again, James proves that he does in fact suck.
Yeah.
But
Well-
I was gracious enough to forgo the prize and let Mike re-roll again, and James won.
Now, wait.
time.
If you re-rolled it, well, actually, no, it depends because some of the systems, when you re-roll, it won't pick the same person. Even
Yeah,
if they had
I don't
tickets.
know. I think it doesn't allow it to pick the same person personally.
Yeah.
but-
Would have been funny though. Well,
I
if
was
you
hoping.
had been picked the second time, would you have just kept it at that point?
No, I would just give it to anybody but James.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Day drinkers got it all of a sudden. Our
Yeah, no.
random winner.
Yeah, exactly. But to be fair, while this wasn't
To be
a,
fair.
if you win, you get this. So not to be fair, to be unfair, he won and he got it. So I take it all back. Unfair, like as far as luck is concerned, screw that. He shouldn't have. He didn't deserve it, but he got it anyway.
Yeah.
you
Let's
go.
all remember that my team won.
Yes.
Yes.
Bruno's team won. I think
But-
everybody likes your team name better than mine.
I think my team was actually just me and James.
not possible.
No, I think it was because our average score worked out perfectly.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
I think what the issue really is that there were some people who had really low scores and they were on your team. So those people drag you down.
You mean like me?
No, your score was fine, but there were some people who had like a score by the end of like 100 versus like everybody else
That's
being
true.
at like 600.
Maybe
Like
I was
400,
getting
600.
trolled. Maybe I was getting trolled. No, I know for a fact that somebody else who was on there was not on my team.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So
Well, that's good.
We'll have to
Somebody else
ask
mentioned.
Dicey
That
if
was nice of them.
he can tell us if there's a way he can tell us who was on whose team. But yeah,
Probably too late, once he ends it.
yeah.
Well, let's get into talking about what we pretty much talk about all the time anyway, and that's games. And I think a lot of this week is going to be a kind of a recap in certain ways of things that we've kind of said before, because the game that Zycia, Dymyrn, and I have been playing is Lost Ark. And I'll start off real quick because I have the least amount of time out of all three of them by far. And I like Lost Ark. I think it's fun. I think it's here's a couple observations that I said to a couple of people, especially Zycia when I was talking to him. It's got that look and feel of a Diablo-esque game, right? But seems to play a little bit smoother. It incorporates doing your abilities almost from like I just blanked on the name. Darn it. What's the Blizzard esports game? Overwatch. Thank you. Almost like Overwatch where you have multiple abilities. In this case, you have 8. And the main thing is you should be using your abilities in this. Absolutely. And it's billed as an MMO. And it kind of is because there's a lot of familiarity with almost like World of Warcraft, except from a different perspective. It's a first-person perspective. It's isometric, 3/4 perspective above your character. And there's a lot of running around and doing quests. But the cool thing is it's like, even though this was built a couple of years ago, it was almost built as an MMO. And then they started doing it. And they're like, now, why are we doing this the old way? Because just people aren't having fun with this. Let's make some changes. So if you start it now, you start off at level 10, you start off with what, 5 or 6 of your abilities already?
6.
And you start with your advanced class instead of the base class. So they skip 10 levels and they bring you right to where, as Zycia put it, you feel powerful. On top of that, all the quests are compressed. And you can tell looking at it that either they're used to a much, much higher population or kind of like EU is now, or they built it as traditional quests initially, but changed it because there's the whole, go out and find, X number of these books that I lost in the wasteland. And it was funny because I had ran across one of these books. I'm like, what is this? I want to click on it. I want to pick it up. And then I had gotten the quest just after that and found out it was to pick up those books. Except on a normal quest in WoW or something like that, you would go out and you'd pick up 5 or 10 of these. In this quest, you pick up 1 and you go back and turn the quest in. I mean, you just go out there, pick it up, go right back. It is so compressed. It's so fast. And most of the quests are like this, where especially the base, like side and fetch quests. There's other quests that are much more involved, especially stuff that's taking you into cutscenes, instanced, not quite dungeons, but like instanced areas where you're doing something to unfold part of the story. Those are much more intricate, not hugely. They're not like super complex puzzles or something, but they take their time a little bit more with that than the other quests. It is very much like an MMO where you see different people running around, different people running by on their horses or gliding by on their hoverboards. But they've compressed all these things down, all the non-fun things pretty much they've compressed down, and all the story bits, you can go line by line and read the story as you're talking to someone. And sometimes there's several lines, the instance areas, the dungeons, the initial dungeons are kind of real small and slow, but they become a lot better as you go along that I've seen. Dymyrn.
I agree with like everything you just said. Every map I've been to has just been progressively better than the previous one, which is amazing because some of the maps are just like, a lot of the maps are just really well done. Like the environments are really well designed. The characters most of the armors. My newest armor, so I am in tier 3 now, which is the highest tier that you can get to in the game currently. I've got like a gear score of 1320 something. The gear set that I have now I actually hate. It's really weird looking. But I can just put skins over it, so it's fine. But the maps are all so well done. Monster variety is insane. Like every map you go to, it's almost an entire new set of monsters across the board. It's pretty astounding. Guardian raids continue to just be great. The last one from tier 4 is like this boss that has like, it's a humanoid guy with like changing weapons. One of his mechanics is like he randomly changes the weapon type that he has, which changes his moveset. And different movesets have different party-wide one-shot mechanics that everybody has to do correctly. So like they ramp up the difficulty a decent bit. Obviously there's 8-man raids at that level. Soon there's going to be even larger raids than that. There's Legion raids, GVG coming. So I don't know, the more I play the game, the more excited I am to keep playing it, and the more I want to see more content added to the game. I'm not even through the current content. Like my gear set right now is like plus 8 of I think 30 for the end game gear set. So I got a long ways to go, but just a lot of fun. And I can't wait until they add the rest of the stuff they have planned to the game.
Yeah, my thing is, I just don't know if I have time for it.
It is a time-consuming game.
It sounds very time-consuming, which is just one of the reasons why I think I'm going to steer clear.
Well, that's the thing, is it's time-consuming for those who want to be at the front of the pack.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you wanted to play it casually, then it honestly, it caters to that to some degree, because you're not in a rush to do anything. Most of the content you can do solo if you wanted to, but there's also a ton of players. It encourages the creation of alts. So like making additional characters is something that the game tries to entice people to do. And it tries to entice people who are of higher gear score to even go back. There's like island quests that'll take you back to the beginning. So like I've walked into like the very first Guardian raid at gear score 1300 with a bunch of people who are like struggling on it. Why, I don't know, because that boss is actually really easy, but you'll just walk in like one like combo so easy. But they do a lot to get people to kind of go back to other content on different characters and stuff like that and play it, meaning that new players can always enjoy the game whenever they reach that point. So there's really no rush. I mean, the entire game to go from level 10 where you start to level 50 can be done completely through just the storyline. So you just sit back and enjoy the story. Take a couple weeks to do it, playing like an hour here, an hour there. It's like 10 to 12 hours to reach endgame, to reach like level 50. So if you wanted to do that over the course of a month, you'd still be endgame just playing 12 hours in a month, just doing the story quest. So not bad.
Nice. But it's just out of curiosity, I think there are more than just dogs on your shirt. Are those raccoons and like foxes?
Yeah, groundhogs.
Just wilderness
like an
animals?
owl. It's just wilderness animals.
Yeah.
There's like a raccoon, like a badger, I think.
Nice.
Yeah,
badger,
just a bunch of weird,
badger, monkey.
Weird little things. A lot of different colored raccoons, actually.
Don't remember that, or is that just me?
I have no idea what you're doing right now.
Oh my god!
I thought you were having some type of
snake. It's a snake.
I thought it was some type of day drinkers, like stroke or something.
You never heard this?
I never heard it either.
No,
and it's not monkey, it's mushroom, a badger. Oh my god. Okay. We're gonna have to enlighten everybody. You're welcome. I'll send something out. Here's the stupid song I was singing. Oh, my bad.
I have no clue what that was.
Oh man,
but that's okay. I don't have to have
called, a clue. Like that was probably like early 2000s. Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, sorry. All right.
So Kelly, I hear you got unplugged.
I did. So my aunt got my kids an amazing game for Christmas, and we played it over Christmas break. And then we play it every once in a while, but on breaks, we have more time. So we all play as a family. And I know I like to bring up this character often, but I got to play again the Bluey scavenger hunt board game, and it is awesome. If you have a kid who likes Bluey and you like Bluey too, this game is for you. So I did run to go grab the Bluey game because I wanted to show you how amazing it is. This board is super freaking cool and is upside down. If you have any knowledge of Bluey, you know that a lot of the stuff from the game is on here. So Bluey's house has different rugs, and these are the rugs from the Bluey house. This game is super, super, super fun because it's super, super, super fair, and everybody wins or everybody loses. So you get to start on whatever rug you want. You just pick a rug, you put your character there, you start there, and then you get to roll a dice and go as many places as it says, but everybody can start on a different rug. And in this case, the oldest person goes first. Most games, it's the youngest person who goes first. And I'm so glad to be playing this game and getting to go first finally.
Right?
You get to pick cards, and the cards are super cute. One of them is like, you've got a little timer, and it says, find something that is round, or find something that is red, or find something that is big. And you flip the timer, and they have to go run and find something, and the kids get so excited about it. Play, you flip it over, and it says like hop on one foot or sing a song or something cute like that. Think is a question about the show Bluey. So like, what's Bluey's mom's name? What is, and it'll show a picture of the little dachshund dog, the sausage dog. This is Bluey's friend so-and-so. What kind of dog is it? And then they're like, because it's been said like maybe twice during the show. So it's got a little bit of Bluey trivia in it, and then like a surprise one. And the surprise one can be like, go forward 6 spaces, do this. But then there is a timer. There's like a clock or a timer thing. If you land on the clock, you have to move forward in time. So the clock thingy is here. So you start here and you go forward every time somebody lands on one of these. But you can get a special card or one of these and you go forward 2 times. So if you go here, get to bedtime, everybody loses. But if you get to pick enough toys and all the toys are empty, everybody wins.
I don't know if we're sending the right message to the children when we say, if you get to bedtime, you'll lose. Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's a very good point. Very good point. Well, yeah, not everybody loses, I guess. The parents usually win.
You're right.
Total side note. Anyway, it's a super cute game. It's got 5-star ratings on every place that you can buy this game. Amazon, Walmart, Target. 5-star ratings across the board for this specific age range. So if you have kids, highly recommend. Highly recommend. My girls love it. The words are pretty simple, so they are learning to read, and they can read a lot of the cards themselves, and it's a lot of fun. So
very cool. I know I have a couple board games myself that I have to catch up on. I think I'm currently at 9 brand new ones that I haven't played yet. And I think I got 2 more that are going to be here in the next couple of months because of Kickstarters.
Yes.
So I got a couple Kickstarters that are coming in. I didn't time them for like the Christmas Kickstarter, the surprise.
Nice.
We always get that like I do enough Kickstarters on board games that it'll come around to Christmas time. And of course, Christmas time, like if you don't know for certain what it is, you're like, okay, well, we're putting it under the tree. We'll figure it out. You know, I mean, I guess parents are a little bit different because parents will open everything and they'll rewrap stuff for their kids. And so there's a little bit less. But without kids, you know, like we're just like, especially when I have a family that won't send me the tracking numbers.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
I send them all my tracking numbers so they know it came from me. They don't have to open it. So I just put it on a tree and I'll like, so open it up and I'm like, okay, honey, I don't know if this is for me or you. How about you open it up? And we open up. Oh, it's a board game. Surprise from Kickstarter.
Awesome.
So that has made Christmas
that's fun.
Very, very much like a gotcha game in some ways.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Okay. Well, that is it for this week, folks. That is what got our attention. Now, Mike's not here. He's out on assignment, so we're not going to open up the email box this week because I want him to be surprised. I want an email to be in there for him. So if you have a comment for us, it could be about anything. It doesn't even have to be about games. Send in anything. It can be about something we talked about, something that you thought was interesting that we missed. Anything that you could just tell us about what your favorite food is. We'll read it out loud on the podcast and we'll talk about it with you. Ask us questions if you want to. You can do that by sending an email to goa@sassgaming.com. Once again, that's goa@sassgaming.com. Send it in. And if you have an interesting email, we'll pick it up and we'll read it.
You can just send us an email that says nothing, like just the word nothing. We'll still read it.
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
Like, sit,
yeah,
man.
we'll totally
Cool.
read it. Yeah.
Yes.
Still an
and
email.
you can let us know if you want to be
It is.
anonymous or sign it with your name or whatever.
Could like meme on us. I don't know. You do you.
Totally.
Exactly. Now, if you want to check us out at the different areas, of course, if you are seeing this or you're listening to us, you know one of the ways to get a hold of us. Twitch is SASS Gamers, but YouTube is SASS Gaming. So YouTube/SASS Gaming will get to all of our episodes going back well over a year now. We're getting up there. We're only, I think, a couple of months away from 2 years.
Whoa.
Day Drinker,
Whoa.
you have
My
almost been
1-year
with us for a year.
anniversary is coming up.
Right? That would be pretty cool.
Do I get like presents and jewelry?
Bruno, did you get any presents? I didn't get any presents.
I'm trying to think. Did I get any presents? No.
But I'm
no.
special.
Yeah, you're special, all right.
There's an argument to be made for that. Yeah.
But if you want to make us feel even more special, listen, if you want to listen to us, that's great. If you want to send out a review on like iTunes or something, that's awesome too.
Awesome.
You don't have to. You don't have to do anything more than listen or watch us on any one of our venues. But if you do want to do extra, you can check us out on Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/SASS Gaming. And there we have at least one tier right now. And that will get you your name in the credits along with access to the podcast early and the podcast unedited. Not only do you get to hear what we said when we got bleeped out, but you also get to hear what we said during the intermission. Mm-hmm. Granted, today's intermission wasn't quite as exciting.
This was
as I troubleshot stuff.
Definitely out of the norm. Usually our intermissions are very funny. I've always said our intermissions are sometimes more entertaining than the podcast itself. So
yeah.
Which
and
maybe we should just
I might entertain
podcast called Intermission.
And if you're interested in other things in Patreon, let us know. We could do something like, hey, do you want to know the behind the scenes tech of what we do? Mm-hmm. How we did the transition the one time when it was just me and Day Drinker from clothing to pajamas with a transition.
That was so
you know,
much
if you're
fun.
if you're interested in things like that, we can put together audio only, or maybe even video ones to demonstrate stuff that will show up only on Patreon and only for our Patreons. So let us know what kind of features you might like. Again, you can send us an email on that, and we'll look into it and see what we can do. So again, that was it for this week. Thank you very much for stopping by, and stay safe out there. It's an interesting world. Keep you and your loved ones safe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Take it easy.